What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I'm here tonight with episode 3 review of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So this episode, it was a decent episode. I didn't dislike it. There were some scenes in here where I was like, is this really real? But we'll definitely get into it as we get into it. But if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a huge solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for what's at the end of it. You guys know the routine with that one. Like the live, subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on, and share the video. And with that out of the way, you guys, without further ado, let's discuss Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And this is also season 11, episode 3. The episode is titled Thin Red Line. Baby, was it ever a thin red line? But yeah, you guys, let's go ahead and just jump into it, shall we? So this episode opens up and we see Carly in these big duck lips. I thought Carly said she was taking them lip fillers out. Like I really thought she said she was taking them lip fillers out. Like she looks ridiculous. Each time I see Carly on my TV screen, she just looks very, very ridiculous with these big, humongous lips. It's just like, ma'am, enough is enough, right? And then it's the lips, it's all the stuff in her face, it's the booty, it's just so much stuff when it comes to Carly. So Carly and Rennie Rucci, let them sell it. They've become cool with each other. They've gotten close with each other. Rennie says that she's become close with Carly because Carly reached out to her and, when her mom passed away. And so she's been there. So Carly told Rennie that her grandmother had recently passed away. And I will say condolences to Carly, for losing her grandmother, and definitely condolences to Rennie. I did see that last season when her mom passed away. Um, what's up, Shayna? Shayna says, why is Carly even on the show? For a paycheck? Because that's the only reason why I can think of it, and to bring the mess. Although she wants to say later in the episode she's not she didn't want to be messy, right? So Carly was talking about the fact that she went down to the DR after Spice had her surgery, right? And she had all the complications. And she said that she got text messages from Rashida, she got text messages from Erica, she got text messages from basically all the ladies, but she didn't tell them anything about where Spice was because, quote unquote, she didn't want to come off, she didn't want to be messy because everybody calls her so messy. But here's my thing with that whole scenario. You telling people where she is, especially if these are her friends, that's not necessarily being messy. Messy, like Carly is such a bird, and I really can't stand Carly. For the whole entire Love and Hip Hop, I've never been a fan of Carly Red. That's why I've always called her Birdie, Messy Red. So she says Rashida has a bone to pick with her because she didn't tell her where Spice was, right? So then when she mentioned Erica, she was talking about Erica Mena, but Rennie decided to talk about Erica Banks, right? Now I could have sworn in the first episode that Rennie said that Erica Banks and her dated, they had the same ex in common. But in this particular scene with Carly, she's telling Carly that they followed each other on social media, they were cordial with one another, right? And she said they even flirted in the DMs. So Carly was like, and she said Rennie said that Erica Banks had unfollowed her. Here's my thing when it comes to following and unfollowing people on social media. I couldn't care less about that. I don't know why people put so much stock into who follows them and who don't follow them. That's not like a big deal to me. Maybe it's because I'm in a different age bracket, and Jesus, YouTube, y'all have already demonetized me and I just started talking. Like, what the hell? And I ain't even cussed. Ugh. But yeah, I guess maybe because I'm in a different age bracket that I just don't care about who follows me and who unfollows me. If I got your phone number, it ain't that big of a deal to me personally. But let me know what you guys think about that. Do you guys take it? Do you think it's a big deal if someone unfollows you on social media? And if it is, like, please explain to me why is it so important? Because for me, I don't understand it. It just makes no sense to me. Because there are people in my life that I'm cool with. They don't follow me on like Instagram and stuff like that. And I mean, I might unfollow you, but I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, since you unfollow me, we're not friends anymore. If I have your number in my phone stored, we're still friends. Sometimes there have been friends that I've unfollowed because I just be like, I'm sorry, love you to death, but I don't want to see all your posts. I don't want to see your thirst traps. I don't want to see your soliloquies on Facebook or Twitter. I just don't want to see all of that crap. I still love you. I just choose not to see it. Let's see. Too much importance on who's following who. Absolutely. Carly, Carly in another age bracket too. She sure is. Carly is definitely in a different age bracket, right? So yeah, that was the whole thing with Rennie. She was talking about the fact that old girl Erica Banks had unfollowed her. It ain't that big of a deal, but we're gonna see later in the season that those two are gonna get into it with each other. And I'm just like, what's the real beef between you two? Because I just don't. To this day, I still don't understand it. We're 3 episodes in, and I still don't understand the beef between Erica Banks and Rennie Rucci. But hopefully they'll delve deeper into it. Will I care? Probably not. So next up, let's talk about Amy. So I will say one thing about Amy Luciani. She is beautiful. Like, girl is she's a gorgeous woman, and her skin is flawless. Her body is on point. So we find out that Amy has a business called what is it called? Pretty Kitty, right? So it's a business that's dedicated to vaginal health, right? And love to see it, right? I love to see the people, love to see black women, love to see black people in general with businesses and thriving. So she has sisters, and her sisters work for her, right? So she's telling her mom that she had texted her sisters earlier that day because I guess she's trying to get some products out there, and she's trying to do a relaunch of her business. But her sisters text her and told her like, "Hey sis, guess what? We ain't coming today." And so she called Chaotic down. Now, one other thing I want to say about Amy is that on top of Amy being a baddie, her mom is a bad looking. Her mom is bad, and when I say bad, good looking. Her mama was fine. I was like, okay, mama, like you looking good too. Mama looked like she could be a sister of Amy's, right? And Chaotic, y'all know how Chaotic is. Chaotic was doing the most. I was like, Chaotic, I really honestly don't think that the mama nor Amy will give you any kind of play. But, I don't blame him from looking at mama because, Amy got a donk and mama got a donk. So I was like, okay, I'm here for it, right? So Amy's mom is talking about how she wants to get together with her sister so that they can talk because business and family are very important, right? So we see Amy and her mom. They sat down with her sisters, and I will say, just like Amy and her mama, the sisters look great as well, right? So the sisters, one of them in particular, she spoke up very loudly, right? And she was talking about how she feels that when it comes down to Amy and them, that their mom puts more focus on Amy and less focus on them. So Amy was in her interview with the producers, and she was talking about the fact that at one point, I think their mom gave them all a lump sum of money, right? And it was for them to invest in themselves. So Amy said she went and opened up 3 different businesses, and her sisters went and did a lot of shopping, bought some, did a lot of shopping, traveling, and stuff like that. Now, what I will say is it depends on what age the girls were when you gave them the money, because if you give a lump sum of money to a someone who is in their early 20s or late teens, early 20s, you can safely assume that 9 times out of 10, these girls are going to say, "Oh, my mama gave me a big lump sum of money. Let me go and let me go buy all the buy some nice wigs, buy designer clothes, do this, buy watches, purses, bags, all that stuff, right? Unless you have a child who says, you know what, let me invest this money and watch my money trickle, watch my money double." So you got to think about it when it comes to your kids. So I don't have an issue with that. So then they were, like I said, the sisters are talking about how they feel like they're being put on the back burner. Now, one of her sisters said that she just opened up a tattoo shop, and congratulations to her for that, right? Because I mean, the tattoo industry, it's male dominated, and then you don't see too many. It's male dominated, and it's not a lot of black tattoo artists, and then you don't see a lot of black tattoo artists, and you don't see a lot of female tattoo artists. So I definitely want to say kudos to her and congratulations to that one, right? So when she's talked about the tattoo shop, she said that when she opened it, her mom came down, but she was basically in and out. Now, Amy at one point was like, "But you comparing your one business to my three business." And now when Amy said that, I didn't necessarily like that because it felt as if she was putting her sister down, and I was like, okay, yes, you're saying you have three businesses, and that's fine, but don't shit on your sister's one business if it's, I mean, the tattoo industry. That's something that, I mean, that's gonna bring in the money. That'll bring in the money. So I was like, I don't know why sis is kind of shitting on it because it just it was not, it didn't sit right with me. Although I do like Amy, it just didn't sit right with me. So then one of her other sisters was talking about the fact that, she doesn't want to be the operations manager anymore. And Amy was like, I'm going through this rebrand. So I need you to kind of stay on as the operations manager. And so she was like, well, you know what? I'll think about it. Now, the sister that does the tattoo has a tattoo shop. She was like, girl, like me, you just literally just had a conversation and it was all about you. So it needs to be all about you. And I get what she's saying, right? Let's not put like we had a conversations and now I'm sitting out here looking like the big bad wolf, and now you are sitting here saying, "Oh, I'm gonna think about it." Like, where's that same energy that you had when we were talking? I got where the sister was coming from. So the sister said, "Girl, fuck this," and got up from the table and left. I think she was doing a little bit much, right? But I get her point and I can see Amy's, right? If you guys have been working with me, then let's continue to do business. If you guys want to pursue other things, I'm fine with that. Let's focus on me, and you can, when you have free time, do what I'm here to help you, but you have a job and I employ you and I pay you. So I need you to do the job. And when you have, I'll give you whatever time you need to work on your business endeavors. So that's how I feel. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and we will move forward. So next up, Jessica. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me know in the comment section, how do y'all feel about Jessica? For me personally, she's a beautiful girl, and I'm not gonna take away from who she is as a model, right? But I will say this storyline of hers, I don't see it. It's boring. I want her. I really, really, really want for Jessica to stop mentioning Nick Cannon. Girl, you got duped by the man. I'm so sorry that that happened to you. I don't know how you got duped by him, because Nick Cannon has not been with a single woman since him and Mariah Carey got divorced. That man has jumped from woman to woman to woman. So I don't know why Jessica felt like she was special or different. I just really don't understand that. So Jessica is in the studio and she's working on some new music. What I will say again is if Jessica's whole storyline is going to consist of her mentioning Nick Cannon, I will gladly pass on her because I just don't care. I'm so sorry that came how that came. It may come off wrong, but I just clearly don't care about her in this situation with Nick, because that's literally what it was, a situationship, ma'am. It wasn't a relationship. He never mind. So one of a producer came in and presented her a song. Now I will say I was on her side with this. The name of the song was called "Put It in Your Mouth." I was with her. Nigga say what? Put it in your mouth. I would have said the same thing. I would have said no. I'm not singing that song. That's not for me. I mean, I know she was talking about women, being sexually liberated, but that's not being sexually liberated. Talking about put it in your mouth. Like, no, come up with something else. Now, I don't want to hear her singing about her vagina. That I don't want to hear about, but because I think we're a little saturated with that with all the new rap girls who rap about it. So I think give her something, I don't know, but put it in your mouth. That just wasn't it for me, and I was with her. So the next thing we see with Jessica is she's meeting someone named Tedra. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that woman's name. I don't know who she is. If you guys know who the lady is, please let me know in the comments section. But I really didn't know who that woman was that Jessica went to go see. So Jessica is talking about the fact that, she's a supermodel and she feels like she's been boxed into that. Um, I don't necessarily know if I would say she's been boxed into that. I don't think that. I think what it is people don't know you as an artist. So when it comes down to you wanting to shift from being a model to an artist, you have to test the waters first. So you have to do things to show people, hey, I'm more than just Jessica White, the supermodel. I also sing, I also act, I also dance. You have to give the people that instead of, because if people only see you for modeling, then yes, you're going to box yourself in and you're going to be typecast as just the model. So you have to venture out and you have to show people your many other talents, if that makes sense. But again, with Jessica White, her storyline so far, I'm not necessarily following it because it doesn't land with me. And I guess the reason why it doesn't land with me is because of episode one when we met her and she was talking about Nick Cannon. And I'm just like, girl, can we talk about anything else? And even like I said, this is the first episode where we saw her in the studio. Why come when you came on episode one, instead of talking about Nick, why didn't you mention then that you wanted to do music? Like when you were in that rage room, why not rage out and say, I'm tired of people, only seeing me as the model. I want people to see me as the singer. I want people to see me as this person instead of talking about your ex. Makes more sense, right? I mean, let me know if I'm wrong. But yeah, we gonna see how Jessica's storyline pans out. I feel like going forward, if it stays where it is, because it's pretty stagnant. So if it stays here, I don't think I'm gonna talk about her. I think we will clearly just literally blow right past Jessica, and that's no shade to her. I just don't find her that interesting personally. But I want you guys to tell me what you think about Jessica down in the comments below, and we'll discuss it. That's her whole storyline. Unfortunately, it is. Like I know more about her. I know more from her about Nick Cannon because every time she talks about anything, it's Nick. Nick this, Nick that, Nick. Like if you want me to believe that you're an artist, yes, this was nice that you were in the studio in this episode, but that doesn't really help me because you didn't sing. I didn't even hear her sing. So I don't know if she sings or raps. Now, if you guys have heard anything from Jessica White, feel free to let me know because, like I said, I haven't heard anything from her, so I don't know what she does, but I would be interested to know. But yeah, you guys, let's move on to the next scene in this episode, you guys, shall we? So the next scene is Spice. Now, this is where the episode got like super duper interesting, was with Spice's scene. So we see in this episode, Spice was talking to her tour manager, right? So her tour manager is telling her that those tickets ain't selling. And I was like, ooh, shit, that ain't good. But her tour tickets are not selling because they've had to cancel so many of her shows. So it makes sense. People are saying like, hey, I paid good money to come see Spice, but Spice is not on stage. So I either want a refund or I'm not buying these tickets. It makes 100% sense. It makes a lot of sense to me. So Rashida came by her crib with this ugly wig on. God, I don't know who told Rashida to put that wig on, but she put it on nonetheless, right? So Rashida told Spice that she cussed Carly out because, like I said earlier, that Carly has not really told any of the girls anything that happened with Spice when she went to the DR, right? And Rashida is not my favorite person by no means. I'm not the biggest fan of Rashida because I feel like Rashida for years, her and Kirk was just coming on this show, just playing with their marriage, and it just really annoyed me because it's like really. Let's see what this says. Did Spice win that Grammy? No, she didn't. Unfortunately, Spice did not win the Grammy. That much I do know. We'll talk about the Grammys in just a minute because she mentioned something about the Grammys. But yeah, Rashida was talking about the fact that she cussed Carly out, and again, I get it because she was talking about Carly talking about she don't want to come off messy. Carly, when has Carly ever cared about coming off messy? Carly has been messy since Love and Hip Hop Atlanta started. We're 11 seasons into Love and Hip Hop. When has Carly Red ever given a damn about being messy? Let's keep it a buck with each other. Tell me, when that woman has ever cared. Oh, that's right. She hasn't. So then Spice tells Rashida that, Carly is going around telling everybody. Now, if you guys didn't watch the Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion season 3, Carly was there. Spice, it was a whole lot of people that were on Family Reunion season 3. But more specifically, I think if I'm not, the trip was hosted by Spice, and it was hosted by Spice and Amara La Negra from Love and Hip Hop Miami. And it was a whole lot of stuff that happened with season 3 of Love and Hip Hop, the Family Reunion. So Carly, because they were in Jamaica, so Carly threw a birthday party for Spice, right? So Spice is telling Rashida that Carly has been going around telling everybody that, she spent $30,000 on the party. And here's my thing: Spice is supposed to be like one of her best friends, a good friend of hers, right? If you're throwing a party for someone for their birthday, if you're doing anything for somebody that you're surprising them, or you're just doing it out of the kindness of your heart, that's literally what it is. It's supposed to be from the kindness of your heart, so you don't go around bragging. I don't know if how Spice is saying it, if it was braggadocious or if it was in the sense that, yeah, I spent all this money for Spice's birthday party, but Spice didn't give me anything back for what I did. I don't know which interpretation it is. But nonetheless, she said that Carly is going around and telling people that she spent $30,000 on the party. Spice said, come to find out, she only spent $1,000 on the party. I was like, that actually sounds about right, because if I remember correctly, that party, it was a white party, but it didn't really get like it cost a whole lot of money. Plus, it was an outdoor event. So I don't know what Carly could have said she spent so much money on, because there were lights and stuff around, but Carly didn't buy that. If anything, Carly might have spent money on decorations, because production that they were filming season 3 of the Family Reunion. So production was the one who probably footed a whole lot of the bill. So I agree. I believe Spice when she said it probably cost $1,000, right? So then Spice also has an issue with the fact that Carly nominated the song, had a song submitted to the Grammy committee that she and Spice had did together, and she didn't tell Spice, and Spice found out through Mita. And that, I will say, I didn't really understand why Spice was so mad about it. I mean, I guess she felt like it was a little bit sneaky, but I just didn't see that. So let me know if you guys think that if that was a big deal that Carly went to Mita to submit a song to the Grammy committee that she and Spice had done together. Now, let me say this: I didn't even know Spice and Carly had did a song together. I noticed Carly released a song last year, and I actually did hear the song, and it didn't sound that bad for Carly Red, because it wasn't Louis Gucci Prada pop them tags. It wasn't that. So it was pretty decent, right? So Spice is telling Rashida, because she's getting ready to go back on tour, and you guys know with her having that surgery and everything that she shouldn't be doing all that heavy ass dancing that she do. Because I mean, God, when I be seeing Spice dance, I'm like, girl, I'm so shocked that all your limbs work, because baby, the way she slams down on the stage or on the man on top of a man, Jesus Christ, Spice. So she's going to be auditioning dancers. So she wants for Rashida to come down and help her. And then we saw Shekinah later in the episode. So Shekinah stopped by Spice's house, and Spice is telling Shekinah the same thing, that she's going to be auditioning dancers, and she needs Shekinah's help, with auditioning dancers. And I was kind of confused. I was like, you got two people who ain't dancers, Rashida and Shekinah, who's never, I was about to call her a Teletubby, but she does look like a Teletubby, no shade. But speaking of Shekinah, did she get a BBL? Because her ass it looks like she got a BBL, and there's no shade if she got one. It just looks like she got a BBL, because her butt was really big. So we see them as they're doing the audition. Now, I will say those girls were doing a damn good job with them auditions, right? Because actually, let's backtrack. So when Shekinah was at her place, right? The doorbell rang, and they went to the door, and who was at the door? Messy Red and her daughter Jasmine, right? So Carly reveals that her daughter is pregnant, so congratulations to her daughter. And then Carly tells Spice that she got the house across the street from her. I would have cussed Carly from here to next year because that is crazy and stalkerish. Like, why would you buy the house across the street from me? Like, I would file a restraining order against Carly at this point. And at this point in the episode, I was thinking to myself, this has got to be a storyline because there is no way any logical, sane person would buy a house across the street from someone. I don't care if it is your best friend. I'm not buying a house across the street from my best friend. I love my best friend to death, but I refuse to live in the same neighborhood as her. Like, no. What the hell? That's crazy. So come to find out, Spice and Carly had already talked about this house because she knew about it, but she told Carly that she didn't want her to do it because she wanted to be by herself. And I absolutely understand that. And then I mean, not Spice, but Carter's like, well, Jasmine's pregnant, so Jasmine's gonna be at the house and you can check on her. Girl, what? Oh, I would have slapped Carly in them duck ass lips because that is crazy. Why would you go and get the house across the street from me? No. Girl, Spice, you know what I was about to say something, but I don't think I can say it on here. I don't think I can sit on this channel, but I will go and get some matches and just play with those matches right near the house. Just play with them. Just play with them. Play with them for a few minutes and see what they do. What's going on? Yeah, I would literally like that's just batshit crazy for Carly to go get a house next to that woman. I would I would lose my shit, right? So we do see as they did the auditions, and I will say the auditions, those women did really good. The women on the stripper pole, that is a talent in itself to just get on a stripper pole. And then with them high ass heels, all those women did amazingly well. So I know Spice had a difficult time picking someone from from that group of women that came to audition because like I said, they all did a really good job. So after the auditions were over, Spice, Rashida, and Shekinah, they all sat down and they all had a conversation. And that's when Spice had told Rashida that Carly came over and she told her that she got the house across the street. Rashida said that that's crazy. I was like, exactly. It really is crazy. And then at the end of the episode, we see Spice and she met up with Carly, right? So Spice tells Carly that she's fake and phony. And I was like, she absolutely is fake and phony. Look at those lips. Those lips alone should tell you that Carly is fake and phony, right? So Spice says to Carly, like, you didn't even tell me that you submitted our song to the Grammy committee. And she's like, well, I thought Mita did that. Even if you thought Mita did it, you should have been like, you know what, Spice is my friend, and I think that she would like that. She has two songs that are Grammy nominated. So let me tell my friend that I submitted it. Like, it's crazy. So then they talked about the fact that Carly told people that the party was $30,000, right, or 35,000. Carly pretends like she don't know nothing about it. I actually believe Spice, right? So then they talked about this fool moving across the street from her. And Carly's talking about, well, I thought you would be happy that I moved across the street from you. I'm like, who would be happy that someone moved across the street from them? Now, if this was a small town, I would understand it would be different, right? But this is Atlanta. This is not like my hometown where it's very small. So it's highly likely that you could move across the street from somebody that you know. But girl, I would have slapped them duck lips because Carly is delusional as hell. If you really believe that somebody would like, why would you think that Spice would be happy that you moved across the street from her? That is crazy as hell. And then come to find with Carly. So when Carly bought the house, Carly had Spice's neighbors sign an NDA. I was like, so you knew what you were doing. So this is why I say I think this is a storyline because I just cannot fathom the idea that Carly literally went in this woman's community, bought a house, didn't tell her that she bought the house, came over to surprise her. It's like, hey, I'm your neighbor. And then you had her neighbor sign an NDA. Baby Carly, oh God. And then Spice eventually got up and left, and Carly was following them behind her. She was like, Carly, why are you following them behind me? This is crazy. She was like, I love you. I was like, that's an interesting way to say I love you. Why not just text her, girl, I love you. I'm glad you're okay. If you need anything, text me, call me, FaceTime me, Snapchat me, hit me in the DMs, something. This is not love. Then she was like, you used to be there. And the thing is with Spice, Spice has been there for Carly. Spice has gotten into so many arguments and fights behind Carly. Yeah, Spice, dump Carly as quick as you can because there is something mentally wrong with sis. Like Rashida said in the episode, it is given single white female, and it 100% is given single white female. The next thing you know, Carly's probably gonna have a blue wig on and skin tight clothes and trying to, twerk and all that kind of stuff. Spice, watch your back. But again, like I said, I do kind of feel like this is storyline. But let me know if you guys agree with that, and let me know what you guys thought about this episode overall in the live chat and in the comment section below. But Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, I do feel like we are getting back to, traditional Love and Hip Hop. I'm actually excited. I'm excited for the rest of this season. I'm stick with it. So far, so good, right? The only thing that I noticed about Love and Hip Hop is so Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, they're going to be on MTV, and Love and Hip Hop Miami, they're going to continue to stay on VH1. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Love and Hip Hop Miami premieres on VH1 in August, and I believe they said August the 14th. So Love and Hip Hop Miami, I'm not entirely positive if I will review season 5 of that. We'll see what the trailer gives, and we'll go from there, you guys. But that's all I got for this episode. Please let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions in the live chat and down in the comment section as well. And until the next time, you guys, please stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands. Be blessed, and I will see you guys later. So I will probably go live tomorrow afternoon to talk about Black Ink Crew Los Angeles. So I'm gonna get caught up on the last 3 episodes that I have not done. So join me tomorrow. I believe I'm gonna set the live for 1 p.m. Central Time. You guys, see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Have a good night.